Are you also confused about whether to study in the US or Canada? If yes, I'll help you to decide which country offers the best opportunity for international students in today's episode. Before we begin, don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Let's get started. Our criteria will be based on the following: number 1, academic rankings; number 2, diverse program options, job opportunities, funding opportunities, visa application process, and finally, quality of life. So let's first talk about the academic rankings. In the US, you have access to top-ranked universities, but you may face intense competition trying to gain admissions into these universities. Whereas in Canada, you may also get access to high academic standards, but there are limited number of top-ranking universities compared to that of US. So if academic ranking is your priority, then I advise you choose that of USA. So the second criteria is the diverse program options. In the US, you have a vast array of specialized program and research opportunities that can cater for almost every field. And because of the number of choices you have to make, sometimes it may be overwhelming. Canada also have access to specialized programs and research opportunities, but there may be some programs that have language barriers that may limit you compared to that of USA. So if language is not an issue for you, Canada may be the best place for you. But if language is an issue, I'll always recommend the US university. The next criteria we'll talk about is job opportunities. For US, you have access to a robust network of alumni and industry connections. So whilst you're in school, you can have access to a network of alumni and industrial connections. But here's the case that they are very stringent on their visa regulations, so it sometimes may limit you on your job opportunities. In Canada, they are more lenient on postgraduate work permits, and sometimes it will be very difficult for you to get jobs. So if you are more lean towards getting internship opportunities while in school, then US is the best place for you. But if you are considering on getting your postgraduate stay after school, then Canada is the best place for you. So the fourth criteria will be the funding opportunities. There's a high chance of getting financial aid, scholarship, and research opportunities in the US compared to that of Canada. But the tuition fees in US are genuinely high compared to Canada. So if you want funding opportunities, I'll always recommend US for you. But if you can pay for tuition fees, then Canada is okay for you. The fifth criteria we'll talk about is visa processing time. The processing time of a student visa by the US Embassy is relatively faster compared to that of Canada, and it involves minimum paperwork. You just have to be eloquent and you might get your visa approved. For Canada, it may take some time to get a visa approved, and sometimes it requires a lot of paperwork before your visa is approved. So if you are eloquent, I always recommend that you apply to the US since your visa can be approved faster. And if you're not eloquent, I recommend Canada for you, but make sure you have proper documentations to back your application. The final criteria will be the quality of life. In the US, you have diverse and dynamic cultural environments, whereas sometimes cultural adaptation can be very challenging for some students. Canada, we know, is ranked high when it comes to quality of life. It's a safe place and very peaceful. But harsh winter conditions in some regions can also pose some challenges. So if you can manage the weather, Canada is the best place to do. But if you can't, then consider yourself in the US. So the ultimate decision always depends on your priorities, your career goals, and your personal preferences. Make sure you do a thorough research and consider all aspects before you make this life-changing decision.